I grew up in a very small town in northern Wisconsin of the United States, and so it was a pretty homogenous community. Through my work with the immigrant and refugee community, my world has expanded. I've lived in Rome for 5 years working with the refugee community, and I have a daughter. And I'm so grateful that we have the chance to break bread with people of different faiths and of different countries. So for example, when I go back to my hometown, I don't think that there's one Muslim that lives there. And when you see the headlines at the local coffee shop, it's only about ISIS or terrorists and making that connection between Islam and terrorism. On the contrary, my daughter has a very different experience of that, of breaking bread with people from countries from throughout Africa, from Afghanistan, from Pakistan. And I think her experience of the world is so much richer and so much more wide open. And she knows that God is bigger than just the faith that she's growing up in. My own experience is that I can't imagine my life without some of the people that have crossed my path over these years of working with refugees and immigrants. When we read the headlines or take the refugee crisis as this sort of this enormous thing that we can't wrap our heads around, then I think it's very difficult. But my advice would be that you need to get to know somebody, and then all of the policies and everything. It becomes very simple when you know one person and you have a relationship with one person. I think that fear goes away and the barriers break down very, very easily. As a mother, every refugee that I've met, I think of it differently because I'm a mother as well. And I think about these people making these harrowing journeys, and that it's very difficult when I see them come here and then they're just limping along. Sometimes they are beneficiaries of an international protection, full refugee status, and they're barely surviving, much less thriving. I would want to tell every parent, what would you want for your kid? I would want my child, if my child were in a similar situation, to be welcomed, to be embraced, to thrive in a new place where they have to re-articulate themselves and build their lives.